break them up. Okay, go ahead. I break them up so I can send them. We're good.
And so then this walking through the angels, so it's this guy goes from one side of L.A. all walks from East L.A. all the way to the beach because his girlfriend kicks him out of the fucking car. He leaves his keys and his wallet in her car and his phone in her car. But somehow he lost the phone. He's got her phone. But he's got to fucking hoof it because he's got no way fucking back. And he hoofs it at night and takes him all fucking night and day to get all the way to the fucking ocean again.
Jesus.
So that's that movie. It's good. There is some sexy stuff in it. So yay, sexy stuff.
These are shorts or these are features?
These are features.
Are these up on the website too?
They are all at polymorphproductions.com. They're all at amazon.com. So if you go to amazon.com and you type his name in, Dorenfeld, Dorenfeld.
There's no I.
There's no I, no field, Feld. You type that in, you will find all of Todd's films, and they will be there. And you can buy them, and you can rent them, and you can watch them. And then you can find the screeners for free at other places on Vimeo through Polymorph Productions. So this new one, he figures, okay, I've done 2. I can pull off a 3rd one and make it a trilogy about LA because it's a duology doesn't make any sense. So he says, I'm going to make this trilogy thing.
It's a Sega, the complete Sega of
So
all
he does
2.
it, but I guess he's going to make this last one. It's already been filmed. He's just editing. He's going to make it a kind of like a television series. So it's going to be a series of episodes that make up the 3rd film.
So it's going to be like...
So that it's also, again,
more than quadruple.
Again, reflective of Los Angeles. So that's kind of where... Because it actually doesn't take place in Los Angeles. It deals with L.A., but then it breaks it down into it's this kind of movie. So you have a horror movie, which is specific genre. You have a romantic comedy, specific genre. And now you'll have a television series, specific genre, right? This concept. So it's kind of going to be interesting. It's different. I like it.
Is it going to be... do you know if he's going to release it in... If it's in, like, television, like, if it's in segments, is it going to be released, like... each part at a time or together as one, like a feature, but with like commercials or something?
I don't know how this crazy fucker figures this shit out. I have no idea. Yeah. He's gonna do something. He'll put it out some way. But then there's
not right in the head.
If you worry about the boy. Undressed is a mini-series he already made. That's 14 episodes, 1-hour episodes each. So that's a whole television series. It's 14 hours called Undressed about Charles Britton. You know Charles Britton?
Nope.
So Charles Britton was a beatnik photographer throughout the 50s, 60s, 70s, throughout the 90s, but really 50s, 60s, and 70s was his time that most of his collection is, a value of people really just love that. So he was like 81, 82 years old. My brother was really good friends with him, and his entire collection was just bought by the Getty. And so the Getty archived it. And they even said to him, we're not going to do a show until you die. They said this to the guy. We're buying all your shit, all your photographs, all your negatives. We are not going to show them until you pass away, because then we'll be able to do a really nice retrospective on you. It's like,
how'd he take that?
He was like, fuck those motherfuckers, fine. That's what I get out of life. But there's a beautiful book, Seminiculture, is a book that he put out with Christine McKenna. I don't know if you know, she was a journalist, interviewer, writer. She interviews people. So she has a great book where she interviews H.G. Wells, Iggy Pop, everyone.
Oh, wow.
So her and Charles put out this book, Seminiculture. Anyway, that's who Charles is.
Seminiculture actually does sound familiar.
Seminiculture, yeah, you've probably seen it. It's beautiful, big hardcover book, photographer book. You get it at Barnes & Noble's, any of the places, right?
Yeah, I want to check that out, actually.
So he says,
I'm sure I'll forget.
He said to my brother, he said, what does it take to make a movie? He really liked Anna Cabrini. Charles was a big fan of that. So he says, what's it going to take to get you to make something else? And he said, well, if I have a free location, then I can figure everything else out. I'll just write to whatever free location I have. So Charles offered up his house, and they decided to film for 72 hours straight, invite people into the home, guests of Charles, to come experience things and create this new storyline that would form from an experience of so forth. So that's Undressed. It's really super, super fucking slow and super fucking fascinating. So it's like you what's kind of fun is you can listen to it and watch it. So you can do other work because you might not miss too much, but as long as you still keep hearing how the characters are interacting with each other and growing into these real relationships, because no one really knows each other. Some people know each other, other people don't. But it's all captured, and it's really fascinating. You see the whole camera crew the whole time. No one tries to hide, but nobody breaks. And yeah, it's fascinating, weird shit. But it's 14 hours. But whatever, binge watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I do 8 hours a day here.
Yeah, right? You just watch it one day. That's good. So that's pretty much what's out there. And then he has
movies to fill up the rest of your life.
he doesn't have to make any. He'd be done after this. I don't know if he will. I'm writing books. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
He can go fuck himself. It works too hard.
What do your books entail?
My books entail experiences of my own life and the fabrications of that. So it's not fabricating to make my life sound cooler. It's fabricating to make it a little bit more fiction than just a straight up, well, this is what happened to me. Life is stranger than fiction. Well, the way I view the world, my perspective, is stranger than fiction. And so that's how I kind of write my books, is through my perspective of these things, even if it's metaphors or changing things around in order to create a more
Just what's,
impactful experience or statement of what I'm trying to write about.
Yeah, it's almost like emotionally and,
yeah, real stuff.
Through the filter of, interesting. Interesting. Very good, very good.
I'm trying to get publishing, and I write the smokingcannabis.com stories about weed. Those are, when I say they're about weed, it's not like every single story is about a different kind of pot plant or a different joint the guy smoked. They're actually original stories that include weed in some fashion. So even if a guy just smokes one joint in the story, I'm considering that a story about weed. So these stories run the gamut of all sorts of different things, from desert rats to new myths that I've created of giants and giant ocean creatures. And let's see, there's tall tales of new tall tales like Wendy the Weed of the West. It's a great tall tale. You know, like Johnny Appleseed,
Wendy the Weed of the
trying
West.
to spread this great
It's
tale
like
that we've
Debbie
all
Dippin'
missed
Dots.
because they didn't teach it in high school or junior, fucking elementary school, right? That's when we read Johnny Appleseed? Elementary school? Maybe
grade.
kindergarten.
I remember first grade.
Yeah, well, pot wasn't legal back then. Fuck, right? So they couldn't tell. No one could read Wendy the Weed of the West story. So I finally published that on Smoking Cannabis so that American can know the truth about marijuana. You know, in our culture with Paul Bunyan and Johnny Appleseed, stuff
Paul
like
Bunyan
that.
was a pothead?
Oh, I mean, he had a blue bull.
He had a blue ox, yeah.
You have a giant blue bull ox, yeah. So I would imagine
Bull
that
ox.
was. Oh. Might have been stoned. Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll take a quick break.
Right back.
Don't nobody go nowhere.
Oh, yeah.